Today we are going to start with select statement processing. So we are going to understand different types of select we have, etc., etc. So basically the select statement for data retrieving was divided into three types. As you can see on the screen, the first one is projection, the second one is selection, and the third one is join. Now what is mean by projection? As you can see, as we already know that a table is a combination of rows and columns. So the projection means retrieving specific columns. Suppose out of EMP table, if you are retrieving only employee number, for that you would be writing a select statement, and that statement we call it as a projection select statement. And similarly, out of the table, if you want to specific retrieve some set of rows, in such case you would be doing you would be writing one more type of select statement, and that type we call it as selection. And suppose if you want to retrieve the data from two or more tables, then we call that as joining. So these are the three types of select statement writing that we have. So let us start with the basic select statement. So select statement basically contains two clauses, any simple select statement. The first one is select, so which is going to identify. So this command is going to identify by Oracle that user wants to retrieve the data, and from means it is going to understand from which table or view or from synonym you want the data to be retrieved. So this is the basic select statement example. So select star from departments, where as you people already know, star means we are going to retrieve all the columns from the table. And if we want to retrieve specific set of columns, then we are going to write down our statement like this. So in the example, we are retrieving the department ID and a location ID from the departments table, and this is called projection. So as you can see in the slide once again, so retrieving specific columns you can see on the slide as projection, and here also we are doing the same. From departments table we are going to retrieve specifically only two columns, so that's the reason we call this type of selection is called as projection. And while writing the SQL statements, there are some rules that we need to follow. So the first one says SQL statements are not case sensitive, so we already know that. So either you can write the statement completely in uppercase or completely in lowercase, or you can also write in the combination of lower and uppercase. So as per SQL, this is the case, but for database processing, writing in uppercase, or when you write the select statement in uppercase and when you write the select statement in lowercase, Oracle will treat those statements in a different way. For example, I will show you it here. So hope you people can see my screen. So for example, if I write a select statement like this, and I am writing another select statement like this, so another statement like this. Now you people already know, and just now we discussed at that point, SQL is not case sensitive. So definitely all these three select statements will give me the same result. But internally the processing, when comes to the processing of this select statement, the Oracle will consider this statement separately and this statement separately, and of course the third statement is also separately. So that means for Oracle, these three are three different select statements. It is not one statement that is getting repeated. So for Oracle, it is three different statements. So why and how we will be discussing more detail in DBA classes. but as of now just remember that point. Okay, the second one is SQL statements can be on one or more lines. That is what it happened in the previous slide. So select was written on one line and from clause was written on another line. So you can spread across multiple lines, that is possible. But the keywords cannot be abbreviated or it cannot be splitted across the lines. So when I say keywords are cannot be abbreviated, so it means you can write your select statement like this, but you cannot write your select statement like this. So you can see the moment you say SCL, it has thrown an error. So you cannot write half of the word here and half of the word in the next line. So that is not possible. And clauses are usually placed on separate lines. So that means, as you can see here, select clause was written in a separate line, and from clause was also written on a separate line. So this is what it says. And then the next one is indents are used to enhance the readability. So when I mean to say indents, you need to clearly maintain the spaces, or you need to clearly maintain the object names. So all those things, or semicolon, comma. So all these we generally call it as indents. And there is something called ISQL star plus. I will be talking that in another half an hour or so. So you will be understanding. So last 2 points we will be seeing at that time. So now jumping to arithmetic expressions. So while retrieving some data from the database, you can manipulate that data, or you can perform some operations like addition, deletion, all those things, and while displaying you can view your data much better. So basically the purpose of using arithmetic expressions on select statements is to retrieve the data in a better way. So we have 4 arithmetic expressions like the add, subtract, multiply and division. So we can make use of any of these things. Definitely when I say arithmetic expressions, that is especially add, subtract, multiply and division, I can perform these addition or subtraction, etc. All these arithmetic operations we can perform only on a number data type and a date data type. We cannot perform these operations over a character data type. So we cannot add one character to another character, or we cannot divide one character by another character. So definitely it's not possible. So arithmetic expressions will work only on a number data type and date data type. So this is the example where it shows how we can perform arithmetic operations. So in this example it is being shown that the salary is getting added by 300 and it is getting displayed on the screen. So we are retrieving 3 columns in total. The first one is the last name of the employee, then the salary, and then we are we are adding 300 to that particular salary. So like this we can perform addition. And the next one we have is order operator precedence. Suppose if I have a select query like what it is showing on the screen, like 12 into salary plus 100. So in that case you have 2 arithmetic operators there. One is an addition and other one is multiplication. Now if you have only one arithmetic operation, then definitely Oracle will perform fine. But when you have 2 arithmetic expressions, how it is going to work? So it is going to work based on the operator precedence. So we have totally 4 operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. So how basically these operator precedence works? So starting with the multiplication. So multiplication is the first one which will be performed, and followed by division, then addition and subtraction. So always when you have an expression with all these 4, always the first preference will be given to multiplication. So it will be something like this. So here I have a expression. So where it is having some values like 12 into 100, then I'm adding that by 800, etc. Now in this expression, if you look at, you have everything. You have multiplication, then division, subtraction, everything. So out of this, first which will be performed? As I said, the thing is first multiplication, then division, then addition, and finally subtraction. So now if you consider this operator precedence, so how it is going to work is, so first 12 will be multiplied by 100 and it will become 1200, and after that 200 will be divided by 100, so this will become 2, and then addition, so this 1200 will get added to 800, so this will become 2000, and this 2000 will be subtracted in minus 2. Here we got an output as 2, so the output would be something like 1998. So this is how the arithmetic operator precedence is going to work. So have you people got it, or any confusion there? Okay. Now the thing over here is, if we want to override these values, if we want to override the operator precedence, then we can make use of something called parenthesis. Suppose I want 100 plus 800 to be executed first. I am taking the same expression, but I want 100 plus 800 to be executed first, then I need to put a bracket over there. And then I say 200 by 100. So now in this case the output will be different. Why? Because here I already specified the parentheses or the brackets. So whatever the value which is there in the bracket, it will be given the first preference. So how this will be executed is, 100 will be summed up with 800, so this will become 900, and then 12 will be multiplied by 900, so this will become around somewhere how much it would be, 10,800, and then this 200 by 100, so here we will get a 2, and 10,800 minus 2, so we will be landing up somewhere around 10,798. So you can see the same expression when we are using with parenthesis and without parenthesis, it is going to give you different results. So this is how we can work on the parenthesis part, and that is what even mentioned in the slide also. So in the slide what you are seeing here, in the first in the above example, it was something like 12 into salary plus 100, But in the below example, salary is getting added with 100, and then it is getting multiplied by 12. So that's how we have the things. And a null value, so we have already discussed about a null value. So a null is something like a unavailable, unassigned, unknown or inapplicable value, and the null can never be equals to 0 or a blank space. And in Oracle especially, a null value will be stored with a garbage value. So that is another point we have seen. And one more thing is this statement, arithmetic expressions, whatever be the arithmetic expression, if you perform that on a null value, definitely the result also will be on a the result will be also a null value. Suppose you are multiplying some value with a null value, then it will also become a null. Or if you are adding or dividing any null value to some other value, even in that case also it will result to null. So any operation that we perform on a null value will result to null value. So those are the things about arithmetic expressions, and especially these things are very helpful for us when we are going to perform a kind of retrieval of select statements. So something like I'm just going to show you. So if I want salary to be displayed in annual method, so then I can go and use this select query or use this arithmetic expression. So I can say employee name, then employee number, then I can say salary into 12. So from EMP table. So this will display me the salary per year. So this is how we are going to have the things. Okay, we have a query. Okay, so what exactly is a dual table in Oracle? Dual table is a kind of dummy table that Oracle allows you. The advantage of dual table is whatever the operation you want to perform, you can perform that on a dual table, and it won't store any data, and it will retrieve the data immediately for you. So like you can use something like sysdate. So if you want to know what is the system date, then also you can make use of this dual table. Or in other case, we have already used that with expressions here. So dual is basically a dummy table. So fine. So that is all about the things what we have. But if you look at the output here, so entire output is fine, like employee name is fine, employee number is fine. But suppose you are generating this into a report and you are giving this report to somebody else, then if you keep your heading like this, it will not look nice. Suppose you are generating this into an Excel sheet, and in Excel sheet if you keep the first column name as employee number, then employee name, it is fine. But if you keep your third column name as a salary into salary into 12, it will not look nice while going through the report. So that is the reason Oracle gives us the option as column aliases. So what we can do is, while writing the select statement, if we don't have any specific name for the column, then in such case we can go and declare a name for that particular column, and that name we call it as column alias. So we have some ground rules that we need to follow with column alias. So let us go through them, and we will come back once again. So as you can see, a column alias is going to rename a column heading, and column alias is useful especially with calculations. and column alias immediately should follow the column name, or you can use as keyword or without as keyword also it will work. And then if at all you want to maintain a space or a special character in the column alias, then you require to give that in double quotes. So these are different things that we have. Let us go and see practically how this is going to work. So I'm writing the same statement, but here what I am saying is salary into 12, but instead of displaying this as a salary into 12, I am going to display that as annual salary, or I can write down like annual salary from EMP. So the advantage for you is even the column which was mentioned as sal into 12, that will be neatly displayed as annual underscore salary. So suppose if you are taking this into a report like into Excel sheet or something, then even then the display will be nice. Now one more thing what is specified is you can also use so this is also going to give you the same output. So salary into 12, you can use as keyword or without as keyword also, still the things will work. So you can see the same result was there. But if you want to use some spaces, like I want to write something like this, annual salary. So if I want to write down like this, then Oracle will not allow me. So you can see it says from keyword or not found where expected. So when you give a space between annual and salary, Oracle could not able to recognize that. So for this, what Oracle allows you is you can use with spaces, but provided you need to keep a double quote. So when you do like this, then yes, oh sorry, it's not sal. So now you can see the display was done in with space, and also the display was as it is with your lowercase. Earlier, even if you use lowercase, so if you look at this statement, here also I used annual salary as lowercase, but in the heading it is showing as uppercase, because Oracle is having a habit of converting everything into uppercase while display. So that is the reason. But when you use that in double quotes, so Oracle is going to display that as it is what you have written. It is not going to convert that into uppercase. So if you don't use double quotes, then Oracle will convert that into uppercase. If you use double quote, then Oracle won't convert it. Simply blindly it will copy and paste whatever the name you have given. So this is these are the points that we need to talk about column aliases. So any queries there over here? Okay. So I'm proceeding with the next thing. So all these slides are going to talk about those things. Now let us concentrate on concatenation operator. So concatenation operator, the name concatenation is going to tell you that it is going to club the content, or it is going to club or combine the content. So you can see basically a concatenation operator links columns or character strings to other columns and is represented by two vertical bars, and the resultant column will be a expression. So let me show you that. So suppose I want to concatenate both the salary and the commission from the employee table, then I would be writing my query like this. So here what happens is the salary will get concatenated with the commission percentage. So it's basically for this, and the where especially this will be useful is, suppose you have some two columns like this, and yeah, yesterday we have created one table, student underscore personal underscore info. So suppose I want to display uh, entire name of the student. So here we have taken first name, middle name and last name as three separate columns. But if while displaying I want to combine all of the three at the same time, then I can use something like this. Of course I don't have any rows, but if at all we do have rows, it is going to display like that. So combinedly it is going to display the name. So this is basically we will be using with concatenation operator. And we do also have something called literal character strings. So literal character string is basically going to help you whenever you want to display your output in some different format. So let me show you that how we are going to do that. Suppose I want my display like this. Let's say I want Mark works in IT department. So I want an output like this. From EMP table I want an output like this. Then how I am going to achieve that? So we are going to make use of literal character strings. So how we are going to use, I am just displaying an example. So first I am selecting employee name because the first word here says Mark, which is nothing but the employee name, and then I am concatenating that with works in. So whatever the other two words that we have, I am just concatenating that with e name, and because these are two words I need to put them in a single quote, and then I need to take the department name, so our department number, so I am taking that, and then you have again DEPT. So now I would be writing this in DEPT, and now I say from EMP table. So now you can see, of course I missed one more thing, so there should be a space here also. So if we have space over there, now you can see similar thing. So Smith works in 20 department, etc., etc. So it is going to display the output like that. So this is how basically we are going to use the literal character strings. But usually I can say in real time it is a very rare case that you will use literal character strings, because nobody wants to display some data like that, in English statements or something like that. So the next few slides are going to talk about those things, how to use the concatenation operator, or how to use the literal character string and all. And then we have a query on how to avoid the duplicate rows. So in your table, if you are having some duplicate rows, how we are going to avoid them? So we can avoid those duplicate rows to be displayed on the screen with the help of distinct keyword. So the moment you say select distinct, from that particular table, you will be getting only unique values. The repeated values will be hidden, with the database itself. So that is how we have distinct keyword. And now SQL Star Plus, as you know, it is a tool in order to interact with the database, or in order to use SQL statements. And ISQL Star Plus. So what is this ISQL Star Plus is? It is internet based SQL Star Plus. So it is also an SQL Star Plus, but it is based on internet version. So that means you can open a browser and you can make use of ISQL Star Plus. And we need to configure this separately. Whenever we create a database, we need to configure this separately. So both SQL and ISQL Star Plus, basically doing the same activity. Only difference is ISQL Star Plus is going to give you some look and feel good. That's it. So how it is going to look like, you can see on the screenshot. So this is how it is going to look like, and it is going to ask you the username, password, and the connecting string. So once you provide those details, it will log into the environment like this. So where you have a workspace, so in the workspace you can enter all your SQL, PLSQL, or even if you have any specific commands related to SQL plus environment, you can make use of, or you can run those things, and then you can execute it. Once you have written something here, you can execute it, as you can see on the second step. And on the third step, already if you have saved something in the script file, you can just go and browse that script file and you can load that, and it will be executed. So especially in which cases it is going to help you is, suppose you have or you, in the sense, the developers had written so much of very long SQL script, like somewhere around it contains 100 lines or 200 lines and all. So in that situations you can make use of this load script mechanism. And if you have written something, you can save that also as a script. For that we have save script option, and then cancel option. So you don't want to perform something, then you can go for cancel operation. And of course we have clear button on the right hand side, in which you can clear whatever you have written in the workspace. And on the top you have options to log out or to change some preferences and all. So when you describe a table in normal SQL Plus, it is going to show you output like what we saw till now. But when you describe your table in ISQL Star Plus, then it is going to display in a neat format like what you are seeing on the slide. It is going to separate your table names. It is going to separate the null values or not null constraint, and then it is going to specify the data type and its value. So that's how we have the things in place. And so we have already been discussing that we can save the script once you have written something. So once you click on save script, it is going to ask you the location where you want to save it. And after, once you save the script, you can load the script at later point of time using this browse method. And these are all preferences which we may not actually work on. And in real time, making use of this ISQL Star Plus is very rare case. So we would be going through SQL Star Plus only most of the times. That is one thing. So we don't really need to worry about it. And till now, whatever the type of selection we have seen is projection. Like selecting specific columns, we call it as projection. And now how we can go and do a selection of rows. That means out of 100 rows, I want to retrieve 10 rows or 50 rows. How we are going to do that? We are going to do that by filtering with where condition. So along with our select clause and from clause, we need to write a new clause, that is where clause, and we need to specify our condition there. So suppose if I don't want if I want to retrieve some set of rows belongs to department number 10 or something, then you can make use of this department number 10. So like the same way in the example also it was given where it is trying to look after different columns, but that belongs to only department number of 90. So even though your employees table contains so many rows, but only the those belongs to department number 90 will be retrieved. And while you are searching the character strings especially, you need to uh, have that data content in picture. Suppose in the database if you have stored the data and capital case, then while retrieving also you need to use capital case. And if while storing you have used lowercase, then you need to use lowercase here also. So I'm just sharing an example for that. So I have totally 14 rows. Suppose I am selecting some data from EMP and I am saying employee name equals to Clark. So let's say I want to retrieve the details for Clark. So what I will do is like this, and immediately it will say that no row selected. Why? Because the data type, the sensitivity, case sensitivity between the select query and the actual data is different. So that's the reason we need to exactly match according to what we have on the data or what is there in the database. So now you can see the data got retrieved. So basically this is one thing that we need to remember. And then we have different comparison conditions like equals to, greater than or equals to, all these things. So whenever required we will be using these expressions whenever we want to equate some value or whenever we want to make use greater than or less than, and also we can make use of these things. And followed we have some examples which are going to show how to use less than or how to use between and how to use in operator, all these things. So and then we have like operator. So if at all we are not sure about a string and we want to search that for the data or in a particular table, then we are going to make use of like operator. So suppose I don't know about employee name, I don't know a complete employee name, but I know something like this. I know that employee name will start with S letter. So what I can do in such cases, I can say like operator, then S percentage, and then it is going to display the bits. So if I use a small s percentage, then it is going to it's not going to show any particular rows. So case sensitivity is very much important while storing the data in the database. Suppose your developer team or application team is storing this data in a lowercase or uppercase. So you need to also get notified on how many types are being used and all. So otherwise, during recovery and all, it would be lot of problem. So these all things talks about that, and then we have logical conditions like and, or, and not. So people who have electronics background, they can remember easily. So we have something like NAND gate, NOR gate, or so similarly we have the operators over here. So if you look at the example there, we are giving two conditions in the where. So one is we need to have the we need to have salary greater than 10,000, and also we need to have the job ID like manager. So there are some filter conditions that you are applying. So that's always there. And this is how you will be using in operator. And finally, if you have all the operators in place, how that operator precedence will go, will it have any impact or will it be fluctuated and all? Frankly, at this moment of time, we don't bother about that. But when we have all these operators in place, this is the precedence that this is going to follow. Always arithmetic operators will be given first preference, and followed by the concatenation, comparison, concatenation and all. And finally, OR operator will be there in order to complete the things. So here we have again, to overcome these rules of precedence or operator precedence, you can make use of this parenthesis. So you can see the select query which was written in this screen. So you can see on the screen. So in the first example, what we are doing is we are combining first. So totally three conditions are there. The first condition is job ID is equals to SA underscore RDP, and second condition is job ID is equals to AD underscore PRDS, and then third condition salary greater than 15,000. So sorry. Now here what happens is, as per the rules of precedence, first AND operator will work out and then OR operator will work. So that means first, second and third operators output will be combined, and then it will be combined with the output of the first condition. But whereas if you want to override this, just like how we used the parenthesis earlier, you can make use of parenthesis here also. And then we have order by clause. So basically order by is going to do the sorting of the data. So whenever you want to retrieve the data and you want to display that in a specific order, like the ascending order or descending order, then you would be using this order by clause. So then we have substitution variables. This is something. So that's how we have the things in place. I will talk about the substitution variables tomorrow, and even we will be seeing about the functions, the other things tomorrow. So do you guys have any questions?
This is Nick.
Yeah, Junaid.
Yeah, when we use in function, and like if I say select the department number from department table where department number in 10 or 20, 10 comma 20, and if I instead of in, if I use between again to retrieve the same thing, how does the performance affect the query? Like, I mean, I just taken a simple example, but I think in real time it might be much complex.
Yeah, I got it. So I'm just showing that here. So I mean, so that other people also understand that. So for example, select star from EMP where DPT number between 10 and 20. So this is one more, and select star from EMP where DPT number in 10, 20. So do you mean to say what would be the difference or performance impact between these two? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So here the basic point, is um, when you go for you know this DPT number using the so when you use that with the in operator, so what happens is even though you have index created on that particular table, particular column like DPT number, even if you have index, Oracle will not use index at that time. So whenever there is a in operator or whenever you are using like operator like here above, or whenever you are using any those kind of operators, Oracle will not use index. And obviously if Oracle is not using index, if you want to retrieve the data from huge table or huge number of values, then it would be problem, or it will delay the response. But when you use between and end operators, index will be used, and we call it as index range scan. So because this is range of values, you are saying between this value to that value means basically you are defining the range. So in this case, index will be used, and the performance will be fine. So that's the basic difference between using in operator and between operator.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is like this might be one example we discussed, but there might be other operators as well. I think where this will come into picture. So we're going to discuss more about this in later class in the performance class.
Yes, we would be discussing in DBA classes like when Oracle would be using index and when it will not use index, and based on that we would be understanding operators, which operator we should go for and which operator we should not go for. So any other queries that we have? This coming one by one. Okay. Funny answering your question, how to see the query plan for this. As of now, that query plan and all those things falls under performance tuning classes. So anyway, we have that in DBA course. So I would be discussing more detail in those times. And regarding the server access, didn't you got any mail? Because I have already informed Vishnu about that and all. Oh, really sorry for that, because I have already informed, and I got to know that lab admin is already started working on you know uh, creating the systems and creating the access for you. But I will find out. I will find out. But definitely tomorrow you will get an email. So don't worry about that. Okay, so if we don't have, no, tomorrow we don't have class, Pallavi. Like the classes are strictly from Monday to Friday. Weekends I'm not going to take classes. So next class of ours will be on Monday. Uh, Monday would be dealing with the rest of the portion of SQL, and probably from Tuesday or Wednesday onwards, we will be, looking about Unix basics. Yes, Funny, definitely I'm going to share these slides. As I said, even I'm going to share some material with you. So tomorrow I will
Oh,
be
yeah, yeah.
sending all of them.
Another meeting wrap up. Okay, join them.
Are there any queries? Okay, then let us meet again on Monday. Okay, yeah, fine. We have recorded the sessions, and you know we will upload them, and we will share the links with you. Okay. So fine, then let's meet on Monday once again at the same time. And thanks for your time, guys, and have a happy weekend. So bye, and good night for people who are there from India, and bye, just bye for people who are there outside of India. Okay, so see you all. Bye.